The average American family spends $60 to $100 a year on turmeric powder from the grocery store. Little glass jars, plastic shakers, organic blends, golden milk mixers, capsules from the health aisle. Most of that powder sat on a warehouse shelf for over a year before it ever reached your spice rack. By the time you stir it into a pot, the colour is faded, the oil is gone, and the medicine your grandmother would have known is in it has mostly left the room. I am Amish. My name is Jacob Yoder. I am 41 years old. I have been growing turmeric in clay pots on my back porch since I was 19, using a method my mother's father brought back from a trip he took to a Mennonite mission in the year 1958. We do not use grow lights. We do not use heating mats. We do not use store-bought fertilizer. One pot, the right kind of soil, a single rhizome from last year's harvest, and by the end of the season we lift out 2.5 to 3 pounds of fresh golden root from a container no bigger than a milk pail. I taught my oldest daughter how to plant her first pot the spring she turned 10. She is 14 now. She runs 4 pots of her own on the south side of the woodshed, and the harvest from those 4 pots feeds our whole family of 7 through the winter, with enough left over to give jars to the 2 widows down the road. Today I want to walk you through exactly how it works, the same way my grandfather walked me through it, in order, nothing left out. I am not going to tell you the powder on the grocery store shelf is worthless. It is not. It will colour a pot of rice. It will tint a piece of chicken yellow. But the medicine your grandmother used turmeric for, the real golden root she would press into a cut or stir into warm milk for a sick child, that medicine is mostly gone before the jar ever leaves the factory. Independent laboratories have tested grocery store turmeric powders for years. The active compound, the one all the health books talk about, is called curcumin. In fresh turmeric root, lifted from the soil that morning, curcumin levels run high, and the essential oils that carry it into the body are still alive in the rhizome. In powder that has been ground, packaged, shipped across the ocean, sat on a dock, sat on a shelf, and sat in your cupboard, those oils have largely evaporated. What is left is the colour and a fraction of the strength. There is a second problem. Investigations by the Food and Drug Administration and several university food safety labs have found that some imported turmeric powders have been adulterated, cut with cheaper starches, coloured with lead chromate to brighten the yellow, or stretched with flour to increase weight. Not every brand, not every batch, but enough that a 2019 study out of Stanford and Bangladesh found lead-contaminated turmeric in samples pulled from kitchens across multiple countries. You do not have this problem when you lift the root out of your own pot. There is a third problem, and this one is the one my grandfather used to talk about. Grocery store turmeric is one variety, grown for one purpose, packed for shelf life. The turmeric a family grows at home in a pot on the porch is alive when you use it. The oils are wet. The smell fills the kitchen the second you cut it open. The colour stains a wooden spoon in one stir. There is no comparison. My grandfather watched the families around our settlement stop growing their own turmeric in the 1970s as the little grocery stores started carrying it cheap. He told me once, sitting on the same porch I sit on now, that they traded a living medicine for a dead powder, and they did not even notice the trade was happening. He said, "The root remembers the hand that planted it. Powder in a jar does not remember anything." Turmeric is not an American plant. It came from the hills of southern India and the warm, wet lowlands of Southeast Asia. It wants heat. It wants long days. It wants a soil that drains fast but holds a steady moisture. It wants 9 to 10 months from the day the rhizome wakes up to the day the leaves yellow and the harvest is ready. Most of the United States cannot give it what it wants if you plant it in the open ground. Our growing season is too short. Our spring soil is too cold. The deep frost on the East Coast and the dry winters in the high plains will kill a turmeric crown by January. My mother's father understood this. When he came back from that Mennonite mission in '58, he carried 2 small rhizomes wrapped in damp newspaper. He did not put them in the garden. He put them in clay pots in the woodshed where the south wall caught the morning sun and held the heat into the night. He figured out that a container does for turmeric what the ground cannot do in our climate. A pot warms up 4 to 6 weeks earlier in the spring than open soil. A pot can be moved out into full sun in May and pulled back under the porch roof in late September before the first hard frost. A pot can be watered from the bottom, so the rhizomes never sit in cold, wet feet. A pot can be carried inside the woodshed in October to finish the last 6 weeks of bulking, while the leaves yellow and the plant pulls its last energy down into the root. The container is not a compromise. For 9 families out of 10 in America, the container is a better growing environment than the garden. I have grown turmeric in the open soil one year, just to see. The yield was less than half of what I got from the pots that same summer, and the harvest was 3 weeks later. I have not planted it in the open ground since. You need 3 things: a pot, the right soil mix, and a healthy piece of turmeric rhizome to plant. The pot. I use a wide, low clay pot, 16 inches across the top and 12 inches deep. You can use a 5-gallon plastic bucket with 8 holes drilled in the bottom if that is what you have. The shape matters more than the material. Turmeric grows sideways, not down. The rhizomes spread out under the surface like fingers, not like a carrot heading for the center of the earth. Wide and shallow beats deep and narrow every time. My grandfather used clay because clay breathes. The walls let a little moisture and air pass through, which keeps the soil cool in July and prevents the rot that kills more turmeric crowns than any pest or disease. If you only have plastic, drill more holes than you think you need. 8 in the bottom, 4 more around the lower sides. The crown of a turmeric plant will rot in a week if water sits at the bottom of the pot. The soil. This is where most folks lose the crop before they even plant. Turmeric will not grow in straight garden dirt. Garden dirt is too heavy. It packs down. It holds water against the rhizome and the crown rots out before midsummer. The mix my grandfather taught me has 4 parts. 2 parts old garden compost screened through a 1/4-inch hardware cloth so there are no clumps. 1 part coarse sand or fine gravel, the kind you sweep out of a creek bed in late summer when the water is low. 1 part old leaf mould from the floor of a hardwood stand, 2 years rotted, soft and brown and crumbling between your fingers. And 1/2 part of wood ash from the wood stove, dry, cold, sifted through a window screen. The compost feeds the plants slowly across the whole season. The sand opens the mix so water drains in seconds, not minutes. The leaf mould holds the steady moisture turmeric wants between waterings. The wood ash provides the potassium that builds heavy rhizomes underground, and it sweetens the soil just enough. Turmeric likes a soil that runs a little to the sweet side, around 6.5 on the metre the county extension office uses. If you do not have leaf mould, peat moss will work in a pinch. If you do not have wood ash, a small handful of crushed dry eggshells across the top will get you close. The rhizome. This is the seed of the whole crop. You can buy fresh turmeric root from the produce section of almost any grocery store now. Pick the largest, firmest pieces you can find. Look for rhizomes that have small bumps or buds along the sides, the way a seed potato has eyes. Those bumps are where the new shoots will rise. Avoid any rhizome that is soft, shriveled, or has dark sunken spots. You only need 1 good piece, 3 or 4 inches long, with 2 or 3 healthy buds to plant a whole 16-inch pot. From that 1 piece, by harvest, you will lift 2.5 to 3 pounds of fresh root. If you can find a friend who is already growing turmeric and ask for a piece of their last harvest, the rhizome will be better than anything you can buy. The plant adapts to the climate it was last grown in. A second-generation rhizome grown 1 mile from your house will outperform an imported one by a wide margin. I plant my pots in the 3rd week of February, indoors, in the back room of the woodshed where the cast iron stove keeps the temperature above 60 all night. If you live in the deep south, you can plant directly outside in late February. If you live in the north, plant indoors in late February and move the pot outside the week after Mother's Day when the night air will not dip below 50. My grandmother taught me the waking up the rhizome the year I turned 12. Standing at the kitchen table with a brown crock bowl between us and a kettle of warm water on the stove. The step is simple, and almost nobody who tries to grow turmeric on the first try does it. You set the rhizomes in the bowl, you pour warm water over them, just warm, not hot, the temperature of bath water for a baby. You let them sit 12 hours. The warm water tells the rhizome that the wet season has begun and it is time to push out roots and shoots. After 12 hours, the buds along the sides of the rhizome will look plumper, slightly swelled. That is your signal. Fill the pot 2/3 with the soil mix. Lay the rhizome flat on the surface, buds pointing up. Cover with 2 inches of soil, no deeper. A turmeric rhizome planted 4 or 5 inches deep will rot before it ever wakes up. 2 inches is the right depth. 2 inches is what my grandfather said 3 times before he let me cover my first pot myself. Water the pot once, gently, until you see a few drops come out the bottom. Then walk away. Do not water again for 10 days. The rhizome needs warm, damp soil, not wet soil. Most beginners drown their first crown in the first 2 weeks by watering every day. Resist. Check the soil with a finger pushed in 2 knuckles deep. If you feel any moisture at all, do not water. After 10 days to 3 weeks, you will see the first shoot break the surface. It will be a tightly rolled green spear, the colour of new grass. The first time I saw one come up in my own pot, I was 19 years old, planting on my own for the first time, and I sat on the workbench in the woodshed and looked at that little green spear for 10 minutes before I went back to the rest of my chores. After the shoot breaks the surface, water once a week, deep and slow, until water runs out the bottom. Do not water again until the top inch of soil is dry to the touch. The pot does not go where it looks pretty. The pot goes where the heat collects. This is where most folks make the mistake that costs them the harvest. They put the pot in the middle of the patio, or on the steps of the front porch, or in the garden bed with the tomatoes. The pot needs more heat than any of those places give. Turmeric needs full direct sunlight for at least 6 hours a day, and it needs an ambient temperature that stays above 70 through the day and above 60 through the night. In most of America, the open yard does not deliver those numbers reliably until mid-June. A south-facing wall does. A stone or brick wall on the south side of a building absorbs heat all morning and releases it all evening. The air against that wall runs 10 to 15 degrees warmer than the open yard. A pot set 6 inches from a south-facing wall is effectively growing in a climate 200 miles further south. On our farm, I run my pots along the south side of the woodshed from the day after Mother's Day until the second week of September. The wall is old hand-laid stone. The pots sit on a wooden bench raised 6 inches off the ground, so the cold of the earth does not pull warmth out of the soil at night. The morning sun hits them by 7. The wall reflects heat back into the leaves until almost 9 in the evening. My yield on that bench averages 2.5 to 3 pounds of fresh rhizome per 16-inch pot. The one year I tried a row of pots in the open garden, away from any wall, the yield came in at £1 4 ounces per pot. Same soil, same rhizomes, same water, less heat, less harvest. If you do not have a south-facing wall, a south-facing fence will help. A row of dark-coloured bricks laid in front of the pots will help. A black plastic mulch wrapped around the base of the pots will help. Anything that collects and holds the heat of the day. Keep the pots out of strong wind. Turmeric leaves are tall and broad and they tear in a gust. A spot tucked against the wall, sheltered from the prevailing wind, is exactly what the plant wants. I want to walk you through the 5 mistakes I've watched people make so you do not lose a season learning them yourself. Mistake 1, planting too deep. 2 inches is the rule. I've seen folks bury the rhizome 6 inches down because that is what they do with a potato. The crown rots, nothing comes up. The whole pot is wasted. 2 inches, buds up, cover lightly. Mistake 2, watering on a schedule instead of by feel. Turmeric does not want a Sunday watering and a Wednesday watering and a Saturday watering, whether it needs them or not. Turmeric wants the top inch of soil dry between waterings. Push your finger in. If it comes out clean and dry, water deep. If it comes out with soil sticking to it, walk away. A wet rhizome is a rotting rhizome. Mistake 3, fertilizer from a bag. Store-bought liquid fertilizers push the leaves big and lush and green, and they do almost nothing for the rhizome underground. The plant looks beautiful all summer, and you lift out almost nothing in the fall. My grandfather used 3 feedings a season, all from the property. A handful of finished compost worked into the surface in late May. A scoop of wood ash mixed into a gallon of water and poured around the base in mid-July. A second handful of compost in mid-August. 3 feedings, nothing else. The rhizomes come in heavy because the food went into them, not into the leaves. Mistake 4, bringing the pot in too early. The biggest weight on a turmeric rhizome is added in the last 6 weeks before the leaves yellow. If you bring the pot inside in August because the nights are getting cool, you cut the harvest in half. Leave the pots outside until the daytime temperature drops below 65 or the first light frost is predicted. Then move them under the porch roof or into the woodshed where they can finish the last weeks at 55 to 60 degrees while the leaves slowly turn yellow and die back. That yellowing is the plant pulling its last energy down into the rhizome. Do not cut that short. Mistake 5. Harvesting on a guess instead of on the sign. The plant tells you when it is ready. The leaves will yellow from the tips inward. The stems will soften. The whole top of the plant will lean and fall over within a week. That is the harvest sign. Wait for it. Not before, not after. I've seen folks dig a pot in early September because they were impatient and the rhizomes were small and pale. I've seen folks leave a pot too long into late November and the rhizomes started to soften in cold, wet soil. The plant tells you the day. Watch the leaves. The harvest, when it comes, is the part of the year my children look forward to most. We pick a warm afternoon, late October, sometimes early November depending on the year. We carry the pots from the woodshed out into the sunlight on the lawn. We tip each pot gently on its side and slide the entire root ball out in one piece. The soil falls away in your hands. The rhizomes appear in a tangle of golden fingers, larger than your fist, sometimes the size of a small loaf of bread. The smell is the smell that hits you when you cut into a fresh root, but multiplied across the whole yard. Earthy, peppery, slightly bitter, alive. We brush off the loose soil. We do not wash the rhizomes yet. We carry them to the wooden table in the woodshed. We break off the largest, healthiest pieces with the most buds and set them aside in a basket lined with dry sawdust. Those are the next year's seed. Stored in the woodshed at 50 degrees through the winter, they wake up easily in February. The rest of the harvest we wash, gentle, with the garden hose in the sun. We let the rhizomes dry on an old window screen for a full day. Then we go to work. A portion of the harvest gets sliced thin on the kitchen counter and laid on cooling racks in the wood stove warming oven at the lowest setting for 2 days. When the slices snap cleanly between your fingers, they are dry. We grind them in a small hand mill into the deep orange powder that fills the spice jars on the kitchen shelf. 1 pot's worth of dried turmeric powder lasts our family 3 to 4 months. A portion goes into the cellar fresh, wrapped in damp brown paper, set in the cool dark on the bottom shelf. Fresh turmeric stores 3 to 4 weeks that way. We use it grated into stews, into the warm milk my wife makes for the children when they have a sore throat, into the salve my grandmother taught me to spread on a cut. A portion goes into mason jars, sliced and covered with apple cider vinegar from our own pressings. The vinegar pulls the medicine out of the root over 6 weeks and produces a deep amber tincture that we use through the winter for swelling, stiffness, and the joints that ache in the cold. A few jars go to the 2 widows on our road. A few jars go to my sister's family in the next settlement. A piece of the harvest, the smallest and least pretty rhizomes, goes back into the pots in February to start the cycle again. The most important thing my grandfather taught me about turmeric and about everything we grow is that the plant is not a transaction. You do not plant a pot and harvest a crop and walk away. You plant a pot, you feed it 3 times, you watch the leaves turn, you lift the root, you save the next year's seed, you give some away, and the cycle does not end. It rolls into the next spring without a beginning and without an end. The same kind of clay pot has been sitting on the south side of our woodshed since my grandfather brought back those first 2 rhizomes in 1958. I'm 41 now. My daughter is 14 and growing her own. The pots are older than I am. The cycle is older than the pots. If you plant your first pot this season, do me one small favour. When you lift your first harvest sometime in October or November, weigh the rhizomes on a kitchen scale before you wash them. Come back to this video and leave a comment with the weight and the state you live in. I want to know which state grows the heaviest first-year root. If you want more videos like this one, methods that have been running on our farm for 3 generations with no chemicals and no shortcuts, the subscribe button is there.